back to Building Belmont. If you are a loyal listener, thank you for coming back. And if it's your first time, then I want to welcome you, whether you are just exploring the podcast or Belmont, then allow me to welcome you here. Our mission here is to capture stories, create connection, and share information. And today we're going to do all three, with capturing stories not only of businesses, but of nonprofits that have a missional focus in what they're doing and a heart behind them. And I'm proud to say we have a lot of them here in Belmont. So today we're going to be learning about the Strong Like AK organization. First and foremost, the heart and who was and who is and the legacy of AK, and then the organization that lives on now. So today I have Kim and Emily, the president and secretary of the board for the Strong Like AK organization. Thank you, actually, in full transparency, for coming back and sharing your story.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm excited to get to share Adam's story and also get to share what you all are doing from the organizational standpoint. So without further ado, tell us about Adam and his story, and also obviously your relation to Adam.
Sure. So I am Adam's mother. Adam was a teen. He was a vibrant teen, very cool, very calm, very collected. He was just an awesome all-around kid. Unfortunately, in May of 2019, he was a freshman at South Point High School. He began to have back pain, didn't feel too well. The doctors kept saying he had a basketball injury that was needing to heal. Come to find out, he actually ended up getting diagnosed with a rare form of cancer known as nut carcinoma. It is a very aggressive form of cancer. The initial diagnosis, Adam unfortunately was given about 3 to 6 months to fight. But he survived about 18 months. So it was a very difficult time for all of us. It was very hard to understand how such a vibrant, wonderful young man, that an athlete, never sick, could go from that to having a cancer diagnosis so quickly. And as a mother, obviously it was a very, very difficult situation for me. This here is Emily. This is Adam's bonus mom. We are actually a very well-connected family. We are a blended family. Unfortunately, Adam's dad could not be with us today, nor his bonus father, but Emily's here, and I'll let her speak a little on Adam as well.
Yeah, like she said, Adam was an awesome kid, and his cancer diagnosis, you think as a family that it could never happen to you. You see it happen to other families, but until you sit in that room and they say cancer, it's just life-changing, and you don't realize how many children suffer from cancer until you're actually at Levine's and you're seeing all those kids with cancer and their families. And we had a huge following with Adam. Our community rallied behind us and followed us on social media, hence how we came up with the name Strong Like AK, AK meaning Adam Kincaid. And so from the following that we had, we turned Strong Like AK into our nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. And what did Adam think of the name Strong Like AK?
He didn't have a ton of input. I mean, I think when we initially started thinking about names, we had started a Facebook group because we were getting so many texts and phone calls and emails of what's going on, keep us up to date, how's Adam doing? So we just figured that a social media group, pretty much everyone's on social media, was the easiest way to keep in contact with people. That group grew to about, I think we're at 5,000 followers in the group at this point. Our actual page has about 2,000. So overall, I mean, you're looking at 7,000 people just wanting to know what was going on with Adam. So we decided we needed a name. There was probably 10 of us in the hospital room at Levine. Adam was going through treatment at the time, and we were trying to come up with the name. Obviously, we asked for his input, but him being a 16-year-old teenager, he wanted nothing to do with that. So it was actually a friend of the family that was like, oh, Strong Like AK, and it kind of just stuck, and we rolled with it, and it's became a household brand at this point. Yes. But I think Adam would be very proud of it, say the least.
Yeah. Well, a brand that we're proud to say is
absolutely
here in Belmont.
Yes. And
being able to share that, obviously, what you all are doing. We've got to have some conversations before. Like I said, this is the second time that they have joined us for an interview. Sure. And the first one, we still have that, and we'll get to put that out, but we didn't have video in the last one. So we had to get you all on video to be able to promote Strong Like AK and, of course, capture and share his story. But Strong Like AK, I want to talk about Adam and get to share his story a little bit. I so admire the strength that all of you have to continue to live in this, and I shared this with you too and Phil before, to continue to share his name and to exist in that space to serve others when things like this that happen that are such a trauma or a loss, people have a tendency of moving away from it, right, or it driving them apart. And the way your family has leaned into it, I really just admire that. So I wanted to highlight that. But strong like AK, he was given 3 to 6 months. And he battled for 18 months. Was that uncharacteristic, or was that right on brand for who Adam was as a young man?
I think it was right on brand, 100%. 100%. I don't think there was ever a moment in this whole journey for him that he thought that there would be an end to it. Like, I really think up until the very last second, he thought he was going to beat this and win. So, it was definitely on character for him to be a fighter. He just overall was just one of those kids that didn't give up. I mean, it was not in his nature. So absolutely 100%, definitely who Adam was, for sure.
And what was he like then? It sounds like he had a lot of that fire then, even before the sickness.
Yeah. He did. I mean, I don't even know if it was fire. He's just such a well-rounded kid. I mean,
his personality.
Yeah. He was very well-rounded. He caring, kind. I mean, we look back now and, we hear stories from his friends and his peers. And I mean, it's just such stories of kindness and how special he truly was to everyone. I mean, he would do anything for anyone. I mean, he was always there to lend a helping hand for someone. So, naturally, I think Strong Like AK and the way that the community rallied around us, but the way that we've tried to give back to the community is more about who Adam was as a person. His kindness, his giving nature has led us.
He would be very proud, for sure.
Has led us to, create Strong Like AK and kind of brand our mission towards.
Well, tell me about the mission now. I do want to get into the practical, but the mission and the heart behind it. Well, actually, before we get into that, I want to talk about legacy. For a moment, and the legacy that now you're carrying forward in Adam's name. So care to just share what that means to you, or what you all think about, and the legacy that you're helping to create in Adam's name for others as well?
Sure.
Well, I mean, I think we just want people to not forget who he was, to remember that kind, giving spirit that he had. And like our scholarship that we do, we had 34 applicants this year, which I think is only going to increase every year. That's 34 students in Gastonia County that may not have ever have heard Adam's name. And to me, that's what it's about, is to look back, 5, 10, 15 years, and people are going to remember who Adam was and how he fought so courageously. He never complained. He never asked why. He just took every day, every stride. Just, I think about how I would react if I got that cancer diagnosis, and how the way he acted was just, he was a teenager.
So nonchalant.
Yeah, it's just, it's mind-blowing, like, to me, that he just never complained about it.
I hope his legacy, I hope, and I know it goes probably for everyone, I hope his legacy outlives us. I mean, that's the point of this. People need to know who he was. I mean, he was an amazing person, and I'm not saying that just because I'm his mother. I mean, I do brag on my children quite often, but Adam was very special. He was sent to this earth for a reason, and we only can hope that his legacy will continue.
Yeah. You guys have a favorite story of Adam?
Oh gosh, there's countless stories. Adam, I guess overall, if I'm gonna even think about Adam and his personality, he was just such a cool kid. Like, he was just so much fun to be around. Like, there was never a dull moment. I mean, the kid could just be sitting there in silence, and he would throw out a one-line zinger here and there. He would quietly make fun of his parents to the side, but be so loving at the same time. I mean, he was
funny.
He's funny.
Yeah.
He was just fun to be around. I mean, even his peers, I mean, they would say the same. They have said the same. I mean, he was a PC gamer. He loved gaming. He was very much into that. We found after he passed away, a lot of his gamer friends connected with us through gaming platforms like Discord and whatnot, and they were sending messages via Instagram and through Discord and this and that, talking about how amazing of a person he was, even in this virtual computer world that they had never met face to face. You know, I mean, there's stories out there of how he helped, you know, peers in the PC world in their darkest days get through things that unimaginable to us adults.
Like,
you know?
grown men, like 30-year-old, 40-year-old men that he was talking to. A lot of them never even knew he had cancer. And the ones that did, they called him the one lung wonder.
Yeah.
That just shows like his personality. Like he was just so, like if you see this picture of him, he's got this huge smile on his face, and everyone always comments like he was always smiling. Like that was Adam.
Yeah, very much.
Well, it does seem like that is the character that even in his struggle or in his fight, I don't even hate to call it a struggle because he seems so strong, that he was still encouraging those around him.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I was raised with bonus parents. We didn't call it that. I think it's an awesome name. But there was a different perspective that my step-parents got of me not being my, you know, actual parents.
Yeah.
What was the dynamic that you got to experience being his bonus mom, or was it all the same?
I don't know. I mean, I had been with Adam since he was 3 years old. So to me, like in my life, he made me grow up really quickly. And I feel like for him, he doesn't remember me not ever being there. I mean, he didn't call me mom. He called me Emily. But I mean, obviously, we shared responsibility.
We did, absolutely. And I was open to that from day one. I mean, Emily's just always been so kind and always just, you know, just really fell into place with taking care of Adam when Adam would go to his dad's. I mean, his father, Phil, I mean, he's amazing. And my husband, Jeremy, is kind of the same. I mean, he came into Adam's life when Adam was much younger, and it, for whatever reason, it's just always worked. I mean, it's been easy.
Yeah.
It's never been difficult.
We've always put Adam first. I mean,
Any of our kids.
He wouldn't know it any other way. Like, there were never like arguments and fights or anything like that. It was just,
this is your family. You have 4 parents that want to love you and make sure that you do everything right. And I mean, I think the same goes for the rest of our kids as well. I mean, her girls are like kids, my kids, and my other son is like, you know, a son to her. So, you know, it's just a really overall good dynamic. I can remember when Adam initially got diagnosed at Levine's, and we all came walking in the doctor's office together. I think his oncologist was quite overwhelmed. I mean, we would go into these appointments and there would be, you know, 4 of us trailing right behind Adam, and it's not often that you see that. I mean, there's stories of families having to fight over how their child's care is going to go, their plan of care is going to go, you know, parents not getting along or agreeing. And I think we were just very lucky to be able to, you know, all be there for him. And, you know.
Did they ever try to give you the, you know, immediate family thing?
Nope.
You know,
No, because I think from the beginning we were just very like,
this is
what you get, and we're all coming.
We had our blow up mattresses on the floor,
Yeah.
sleeping, spending the night. Like,
How many people did you all get into a room at one point?
I think the 4 of us were
the 4 of us were always there.
Always
but
there.
I mean, we had aunts and grandparents.
And I mean, it's kind of the unique thing of growing up and living once you're an adult in the same community that you grew up in. You know, your parents are still here, the grandparents are here, the aunts, the uncles, whatnot, close family friends are like family, you know, and that's kind of how it was for us. I mean, I think there were many times in beginning of Adam's diagnosis that, gosh, we had 10, 15 people visiting the hospital at one time, you know, so there was always someone around for sure.
Well, family and connection and togetherness obviously being something you exemplify, something that's important to you, and a big part of why Strong Like AK exists now.
Absolutely.
So I think that it's a great transition into the organization and how you all got to, can you share a bit about how you all got to continue to be together and stay together, and what you noticed in other families and how that led to the organization?
Oh, I don't think there was ever a doubt in our mind that we wouldn't stay connected after Adam passed. I mean, we'd just been through so much together. Again, I think it's just the whole thing of we're family. There's no question.
Like Adam might have, I mean, Adam was like the commonality between
us,
you know, that kept us, but
time.
it's like we've been together for what, 15, 16 years now. It's like we're not going anywhere. I mean, my kids would be devastated if they lost Kim and Jeremy and Andrew and then her sister Caroline. I mean, they think that's their aunt. I mean, that's just how we roll.
Yeah,
so,
and I mean, I think for Strong Like AK, it's just, it was foolproof. I mean, for all of our grief, we didn't want to run from it. We did a pretty good job from day one of hitting everything head on. So I think it's a way that we have been able to take our grief and turn it into, good. The community rallied behind us, and at this point, I mean, we wanted to do the same for the people that supported us, I mean, that's what it's about.
So when you all got to, or when you had to experience the treatment, you all got to continue to stay together there, correct? As a family, you got to stay with Adam through the treatment here and in Boston at Dana-Farber.
We did.
And you all getting to stay together, I remember you telling me that you recognized that other families didn't get that opportunity.
Right.
So tell me about what you experienced from that standpoint, being there with him throughout treatment, and how that led to ultimately where you all are going to build homes.
True. Yeah, well, a lot of families can't afford to leave their jobs, or they have younger children, and if you don't come from a blended family like we do, a lot of times maybe the mom or the dad has to stay back to take care of their younger children while the other child and the mother go to treatment in a different city. I mean, that's hard. And we feel like at Strong Like AK that it's important for your family, your parents, to be with you, with the child while they're fighting cancer. I mean, the last thing we want you to worry about is your mortgage payment, your utility bills. Like, we want to help share some of that. So we do. We do a lot of financial care that way. But then ultimately building homes where people can go for free and stay for as long as they need while their child's in treatment. Because Charlotte is a huge area. I mean, it's up and coming for research. There's an organization out of Charlotte that raises millions of dollars for cancer research for children, neuroblastoma in particular. So children are coming from all over the United States, from different countries, for treatment in Charlotte, and there's nowhere for them to stay. So we do take care of, right now we're taking care of housing for those patients, but we ultimately want to have the Strong Like AK house, hopefully multiple houses. That's our goal. We want to keep families together during treatment. It's important.
Yeah, that seems to be a lot of the heart and the action that you're taking, right?
Mm-hmm.
With organizations that are inclined in this way. There's so much, and through my relationship with you all, I got to see how much you could actually do for families that are going through that. And so I love what you're doing to provide financial support, but also building these homes. We'll speak that into existence, that there will be several. I really love that ultimately that passion and that vision to provide for families, which you all got to experience, and all staying together, and the air mattresses and keeping them together. So tell me more about the vision of the organization, and then I want to share, of course, how people can get involved and how they can support what you all are doing.
Sure. So Strong Like AK is a pediatric cancer nonprofit. We are here to support financial care, housing, anything caregiver-wise that needs. We work mainly with social workers at local hospitals that treat pediatric cancer. Some of our patients that we do handle financial requests for are just actually referrals. People that know our organization will send other patients to us or say, hey, Strong Like AK can help, and we'll get an email, and we're happy to do that. So a lot of our vision is financial care and just making sure that patients and families have everything they need when they're going through treatment. We never struggled, and that was a blessing for the community. From the community, I mean, we were very lucky to have the community rally around us and help us. And I was able to step away from my job at the time. There's flexibility in Emily's schedule, and then other things that kind of came into play to where we were able to be with Adam, and we knew the importance of that. And I honestly feel like that was a lot of the reason why Adam did so well for so long. His family was there every step of the way. There wasn't a day that went by. I mean, there was plenty of times that Adam would be like, where's my mom? Where's my dad? I mean, if there was one thing that I had to venture off and do, or Phil had to go somewhere and do something, I mean, he wanted us there all together all the time. So, our vision behind Strong Like AK is to give that to other families that are going through a pediatric cancer diagnosis and treatment.
Yeah. And I mean, like the Ronald McDonald House, that's nice and wonderful. It's a great thing, but it's not focused only on pediatric cancer. And that's kind of the difference, is that we are focused on pediatric cancer patients and their families, and the privacy of having the whole entire home to themselves versus just a room. That way, Adam being a teenager, that was important to him. His space, he loved us and wanted us all there. But there were times, he wanted to be in his room playing his video games without us staring at him. So,
the thought of us being there. He
wants us there, but leave me alone for a minute. Yeah. So, I mean, just having that for other families is important to us.
I think I love what you're doing for the quality of life for the time that you get to have together.
Sure.
And of course not knowing, and obviously every day not being promised, that you are really helping to add to that from the organization.
For sure. I think some of the best memories we made as a family was, you know, when Adam was going through his diagnosis. I mean, we traveled, we made sure that we made every single minute count 100%. And, you know, if we can give that to other people when they're going through such a difficult time, I think we're definitely doing what we should be doing.
Well, I'm glad that we've got to have several conversations, the first of many. I've really loved getting to know you two and Phil, and vicariously getting to know Adam and the organization and what you all are doing. It's something that is just magnetic. You want to be a part of it, and I'm going to say that obviously because obviously I have affinity towards Belmont, but you know, regardless, being able to be a part of it. So you all have some awesome things that are coming up, starting with a Gala now in May 21st, and I'm going to hope that by the time this airs, you're all sold out, right? People are waiting at the doors to get in. But let's talk about the Gala, and then we can talk about some other ways that people can be involved as well. So tell me about why the Gala, the heart behind the Gala, and also what people can expect to partner in giving and supporting that.
Sure. The upcoming Gala is May 21st. It's a Saturday. So we are holding the Gala, I would say, to raise money for the Strong Like AK House and to support, you know, pediatric cancer patients in the area. But it's also more of a celebration too of, you know, our success this past year. I mean, we had a very successful year, our first year as a nonprofit, and you know, we're trying to drive home our capital campaign with the Strong Like AK House. So the theme is Wizard of Oz, and the title is There's No Place Like Home, kind of a play on the whole Strong Like AK House. And our thoughts of, you know, building this home where kids and families can come and have a home while they're going through this treatment. We're looking to drive that home to the end of the year and hopefully get that built come January. Wow. So the Gala will actually feature uptown dueling pianos out of Charlotte. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a fun evening of entertainment. You know, cocktails, dinner, the whole 9 yards. And we'll also have a silent and live auction that evening as well.
Okay.
So
I was going to ask about There's No Place Like Home.
Yep.
And how long did you all strategize and think
about it? Was actually pretty quick. It was pretty quick. I was thinking Wizard of Oz, and then we just all kind of was like, oh, home. There's no place like home, you know? So it was kind of easy. That wasn't too hard. And I think as far as like the decor and everything, we were like, oh, this will be great. You know, Yellow Brick Road, there's no place like home. It'll be fun. So. And
how have you seen the community or local businesses come around you all to support the Gala?
So we have some great sponsorships. We have several local businesses sponsoring the event. Dilling Heating and Cooling is actually the presenting sponsor for the event this year. And then we have several other businesses that are taking part as sponsors. Ticket sales are growing great. Like you said, I hope by the time this airs we'll be sold out, but if not, you definitely can get your ticket online and via our website. So yeah.
And that's what, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, we're looking at on the screen here. Sorry, Kim, I'm sure you're wondering why I was looking behind you like this. But we do have some tables already sold out, some tables still available as of this point, and tickets. What's the capacity? What are you aiming for? So we're aiming for 200 guests. Okay. Yeah, 200. And that's pretty much reaching max capacity of the Gastonia Conference Center where it's going to be held. So fingers crossed we get there. Okay. And so what if we air this, or when we air this, tickets are already sold out. Sure. How can people engage with Strong Like AK or even the Gala, even if they don't have a ticket? Yeah. Our website, stronglikeak.org, is always a good place to keep up with our events, but you can also participate in the Gala with the silent auction. You'll be able to access it from your phone. So I believe if you go on the website, you'll be able to register for that, even if you can't get a ticket. And then social media as well, Facebook and Instagram, you can keep up with our upcoming events on there. Okay. So we will make sure to link this in the comments, the show notes, YouTube, podcast platforms, everything, so that way you can engage with this. And after the Gala, we have some events coming up. So if people want to engage, what else is coming up after the Gala? I heard mention of golf. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's our next big one.
Yeah, so our next big event would be the golf tournament. That's going to be August 29th at Kramer Mountain Club. Last year we had a very successful event there. We raised about $40,000 in support of pediatric cancer. So pretty exciting. We hope to double that this year, fingers crossed. That would be awesome. But we have the golf tournament. We've got a 5K in the works here locally in Belmont. So we're hoping that happens in October. And then, we have
Pediatric Cancer Night.
Yeah, we have the Pediatric Cancer Awareness Night with the Gastonia Honey Hunters on the book for September 9th. That was an exciting time last year. We had the picnic area, dinner. It was pretty fun. We had local children that are fighting pediatric cancer come out, and that took place during Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. So it was a great night to honor them as well. And we're going to do the same this year. We also have a blood drive coming up April 30th as well. So that's happening, and
We'll probably have another one in
I'll
September.
have another one
yeah.
in September. Yeah.
Okay.
So
There
some
we go.
fun stuff.
I was looking here at the golf tournament and some opportunities there to sponsor, presenting sponsor, gold sponsor. So again, as well, I will link these so people can engage. And one thing that we want to do, and you all will be the first ones that we partner with the Building Belmont platform, is to give 10% of every dollar that comes to the platform back to nonprofits and their mission.
Wow,
So I would love
sweet.
to partner with you all and making
Thank
you
you.
an official partner, nonprofit
Fantastic.
partner of Building
Great.
Belmont.
Love
Because in the same way that you all are supporting the community, and you're supporting families, and then they're supporting you, and then you're supporting them, I think creating this ecosystem where we're all a part of that and helping each other's mission drive forward, we just can't do it alone. So thank you for the way that you've inspired, of course, us and so
Thank
many
you.
others, and again, sharing Adam's legacy and letting people continue to be a part of that so they get to hear his name. And it's been so great. You all lit a fire in me. I've been telling everyone that I can about his story.
Thank you.
And honestly, if you don't know Adam's story, share that out there with the world. And so when people don't, it's like, hold on, sit down. Let me
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it
for
is.
sure.
So before we close, anything else that you two want to share? Anything that you can share with the community about yourselves, or about the organization, or even about Adam before we go?
I'm very thankful for the community that we have. Like I said, they rallied around us since day one, and they've continued to do so. We welcome anyone to, jump on board and be a part of this organization. We're growing at a very rapid pace, and we're excited about what we can do in the future for pediatric cancer patients and families here. So thank you for sharing our story and, talking about Strong Like AK and letting others know the work we're doing.
It's an honor. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the more we get to sit down together, the more I consider you friends. So
Fair
this
enough.
will be the first of many as the organization continues to grow.
Thank you.
As you have need of the platform to share or to put a word out there, then consider this platform yours. So
Thank
just
you.
let us know, and of course we'll be in touch to continue to see how the house is going about. And you know what we'd love to do when the house is going up or
Oh,
you
yeah.
select the home. We'd love to go and get some footage and maybe get another interview
Yeah.
about that as it
Yeah,
happens.
that
That'd
would
be
be cool.
awesome. Gives me
We're
chills to
excited.
think about.
I know.
Yes.
It will. I'm confident that'll be the first of many.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Building Belmont podcast. I'm your host, Keanu Trujillo, reminding you to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And of course, share with a friend, share with a neighbor. We'll see you again next week as we capture more stories, create more connection, and share more information here on the Building Belmont podcast.